do actually is just I'm going to use this object to render. And basically what we need are the rendering tools, or you can set up your tab over here to have renderings. This is the default settings for the renderings. You got the first and most important, probably based on your computer, is the quality. If I was you, I would probably lower it to make it a low instead of a medium. I mean, you won't look as nice, but at least you'll know your computer doesn't freeze. And then once you get the perfect material you want on your object, you can always make it higher, and then up to presentation, which would probably take a little bit longer to run. So that's why I would just recommend to use low, or actually, I don't know about dry, but low is fine. And let's see. I'm gonna open up a tool, the rendering toolbar, so I can have those basic tools, which are in 2010 too, I believe. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, great. What we want to do is first work with material. So if you guys open up your material browser, if you right click on any of your side tools, you can go to render, and it should open up that. So if you have whatever you need, and you should have this box come up with the general creating your own material or using the basic material they have. The best part is in 2011 they have so many different types of material now. The older versions didn't have as many, but I mean this time it's like, geez, you got so many you can't keep track of it, which is great because it actually has a whole Autodesk library based on what you want to use as a material. You can use concrete, ceramics, flooring, tile, glass, masonry. Just the list goes down. Yes, question.
How did you get to that materials number?
Sure. What I want to do is I'll just pick a simple color or material. Actually, I'll use wood. Once you click on it, it adds up to your actual materials the list that you're using. So, or you're in the process of using. And you select it and you just drag it onto your image. That's pretty much you don't drag it to the image, you drag it to your solid object. Now if I actually render this, so I got to type in render, or I can just run it with the rendering option over here. I'll run it with a wood type view. It makes it look pretty awesome. There are options that can be changed. I'll go through that a little bit, but basically that's getting a library. There's different setups you can do here. You can do a list setup, you can do a text view, and of course the grid. And you can display the material. You can modify it, so if you select that, it gives you a name, appearance, so forth. And you can actually modify that to your specifications. And you can type information about it. And again, that's down here. That's probably only 2011. And actually, up here, you can actually it will show you which which ones are being applied, which ones you have selected. Show unused ones that you have up here, and then purge, which we went through, which removes anything that's not used, like lines or layers. This one is for actual material to purge. So basic, same idea for purge. And again, you can make your own library too. So if you have your custom library set up, you could create that and have a name for it, which is nice too. And there's options over here, so you can go through here. Default mirror. And of course the first one is create material, which is the basis of creating a material. So you would select what, if you want to make a wood type material, you would start with wood. If you want metal, masonry. So say I said wood, got a cherry type color here. I could use like graphics that I get from online or a company that has their own material. I could load it in and I can modify it with the brightness, and I can invert the image. So it really depends on what you're trying to make. You can stain it, put a stain on it. You got to select what kind of stain you want to finish, semi-gloss. I mean, it's self-explanatory how you want to modify it, and it's really detailed, so it's nice, and it's organized. So floor, furniture, I guess there's a different usage for it. Relief pattern. Again, you can custom the grains, the amount of grains, and that previews it. You can also change the preview type. If you're using more like a fabric, you could use a draped fabric. If you're using it for the wall, you might want to use it on the wall. You get a better visual view of it. Again, you guys can't see it as well as I can see on my computer, but that, and you can use a material that you already modified once and make a duplicate and then save it as a separate material. So there's really a lot of options. Again, first name you can do. So I have a default wood and I have a default mirror, which I didn't give actually information of. So again, if I wanted to add that, I just drag it in. It's dragged, and I'll just type in render, and we have this new type of wood that I just made. Now, that's legally mine. You can't steal it. Of course, somebody probably already did. Anyways, here's information of when it was dated, when triangle account. That don't worry about. All these little other things, and you can switch off from a previous one I made to the first one I made. So the yellow one, and then the red brownish, I guess, color. Save it as a copy. Send it, save it so you can send it to your client or boss. You should turn these things off. You can turn them back on. You can zoom in, zoom out. Of course, if you zoom in, the graphics not going to be as good. So let's see what else can that. Now there's more advanced stuff you can do with the renderings. All I have to do is go over here to advanced render settings, and the first is, I would stretch this out first so you guys can read all this. The procedure. Now this is based upon how you're going to use your image. So if you want to just crop it off, so if you want to just create a window, I would just go crop, create a window. Actually, so let me see this. Crop. There we go. You got first set it up to crop, then you go to render, and then it allows you to select the crop, and then just renders it out. So if you have a small area that you want to look at, that's a nice thing to do. And you get the other option of just selecting an object and rendering it. It removes the other objects. If I had an square box here or something, here I'll show you guys. So if I took selected, render, like that, render it, you guys can't see the box, but it's there. So that prevents you from freezing your computer because it won't run the whole image. The output size, well, basically you guys understand that. It's the size of the output that you make. Exposure type, automatic, not quite sure about that. Physical scale. Materials, if you want that on. Texture, filtering. I mean, these things you can't explain, you can only do it. So I recommend playing around with these kind of tools, because you guys can convert the colors to anything you want. If you want more red or green or blue. Shadows. Shadows are nice if you have lights. Otherwise, I mean, it's pointless. So shadows should be on when you're using lights. And this is where actually lights come in. Depth, reflection, global illumination. That's more architectural. It's based on, you got a sun in the sky. Got the thing. There's radius, and actually we'll start getting into the lights now.